Okay. So as you know, it's a digital exam, so it's all done on computer. And there are two sections. Reading and writing counts as one section. Math counts as the other section. Um, and within each of those sections there are two modules. So module one for reading and writing, module two for reading and writing, and then you'll have a break, and then you do module one for math and module two for math. The number of questions you'll see, I'm going to pull up a paper copy, but I mean, it's kind of pointless because you got to do it on the computer.
Yeah.
But just so you have something that's visual. So it's going to kind of look like this when you take the test. It's, it'll, like, for example, there'll be like some fill in the blank stuff, which is kind of like vocab a little bit. And the each module for reading and writing will consist of 27 questions. And I think it's 35 minutes. Let me double check on that. I should actually know that. But just be sure.
Yeah.
Actually 32 minutes. Math was 35 minutes. So you can see overall it's 134-minute test or 2 hours and 14 minutes. But with a break, it's about 2.5 hours. So if you show up at the test center at 8 o'clock, they start you around like 8:15, 8:20-ish.
Yeah.
You'll be done before 11 o'clock. So whereas back in the day, the SAT used to be 3.5 hours, sometimes even 4 hours for some people. If you had extended time, it's 5-6 hours, or you do it in 2 days. Like it's kind of, so they've done a better job of trying to reduce the test because it's hard to really stay focused for that. And especially the newer generation, it's just hard to just, because you guys been around like all this instant technology. It's they're thinking more this current generation, like what makes sense for you guys. So yeah, it's not, to have a long test is not good. I mean, it's still long.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now let's talk about the kind of questions you'll see. So you have these kind of questions to fill in the blank. We're gonna go through these in a little bit. You'll have other questions that will involve with reading comprehension, like just a short passage, what's the main purpose of the text, or to underline something, like what function does that underlined portion serve in the text as a whole. Poetry we could have perhaps, like old school stuff, like over 100 years old. Yeah, sometimes like old American literature or 19th century British literature you could see sometimes.
Yeah.
So sometimes so those can be a little dense. Yeah, see 1856, 1891. No, never mind. That's more social science, born in 1891, but that's an 1856 poem. They'll have some data questions, like they'll have some data, and those are kind of interesting because you could just look at the choices and see sometimes only one of those will work with the data that's provided, and there you go, that's your answer. But sometimes all four choices are true, then you have to pick the one that fits the context of the passage. You have another one there. Yeah, more reading comprehension, then the grammar comes into play. That's why it's called reading and writing. So and they even just tell you straight up, hey, what choice completes the text that conforms to conventions of standard English? Like that, that follows grammar rules. So they have a whole bunch there. And as you get closer to the end, there's also stuff on transition words, picking the right transition word.
Yeah.
And then they'll have something called rhetorical analysis, I think is what it's called, or rhetorical synthesis. So they'll give you like 5 bullet points. And you kind of have to then they'll ask you a question about those bullet points, and you have to use the proper bullet points to answer the question. So it's kind of like using information provided to you and formulating a response from that. So it's very consistent. There's no surprises. You know what to expect. Now, here's the deal. This is an adaptive test. What that means is that if the first module goes incredibly well, then you're going to have harder questions in the second module. So it's a good thing. If the test looks harder in the second module, that's good.
Yeah.
If it's looking easier, then you're a little worried. Because why is it looking easier? Because you probably bombed the first one or didn't do well in the first one. So it's important that you start off hot. That's very, very important. So that's how the test is adaptive. Now, how exactly it's scored? I mean, there's a scale from 200 to 800, but the College Board hasn't really released like the exact details of the scoring. So it's kind of this murky, mysterious scoring system. with the old SAT, you kind of knew like, okay, well, if I miss this number of questions, I probably get this score closer to score. Because they had a table that you'd look at. And of course it varied from test to test, but still for the most part, like if there were like 40 questions and you missed like 4, maybe that's a 750 or something. Like you just kind of knew. Not quite the case here. So, but you just want to do well, give your best shot. And this one's a paper copy, so that's why this doesn't make too much sense to do this as a practice test, because we need to do an adaptive one. But we'll still do this as practice just so you see how the questions look. But then I'll ask you to do a practice test eventually because you want to, right? And the good news is that the College Board has lots of practice tests, like well, not lots, but 6. And there's an app you have to download called the Blue Book app. Have you downloaded that before?
Yeah, I've downloaded that and I've done the first practice test.
Oh, good. Perfect. Good. Okay. So and what did you score the practice test? I should have asked that actually right away.
Let me hold that up real fast. Sorry.
Do you have it pulled up?
Sorry, it's being
Yeah, I know College Board
trying
can
to
be a little wonky.
yeah. Oh, there it is. Uh, 1280.
Okay. Actually, do you mind sharing your
And then
screen
we
with
had
me? So I can
1280
actually
was
record it.
1280 was the first one, and then 1220 I took it again over.
Do you mind sharing your screen with me?
Yeah, I got. All right, I'm gonna have to leave and then rejoin to allow the screen sharing.
Oh, that's weird.
So,
I did.
yeah.
Okay, you go on. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. It's something to do with the recording. All right, here we go. Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me record this really fast. June 10. The next one was
I
do you
was-
want to do you want to redoing the same practice test?
Pardon?
Did you wind up doing the same practice test?
Yeah,
Or-
I ended up doing the same one over.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay, I'm seeing that right. August 13th. Okay.
Yeah.
Four. All right, go ahead and click on the more recent one, August
Yeah.
13th. Okay. And let's go and just actually can you hit the back screen again?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one. So 600, 620. Let me write that down. 600, 620. Some of that. 680, 600. Okay. 1280. All right, yeah, go and click on score details for the most recent test.
Yeah.
And if you just scroll down slowly, keep going, 2, 3. Oh, slow down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right, then let's go next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. No math. Okay, see here. 1. Keep going. 2, 3, 4. Okay, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. Go all the way to the top. Click on reading and writing. Okay, click on math. Then click on math.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I got that correct. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna record this really fast here. So see, that's 19 correct, 8 wrong, 16 correct, 11 wrong. Okay, cool. And then go ahead and click back again. Yeah, click on the June 10th one. All right, click on yeah, just go slowly. 1, keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, stop right there. 6. Okay, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The math. 1. Keep going. 2, 3. Okay, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, go to the top, please. Just click on reading and writing. That's correct. Click on math. That's correct. Okay, good. Sweet. Okay, that's the details. All right, cool. So now you can stop sharing because I think what I want to do is I want to at least go over strategies with you first, and then maybe we can go back and look at your mistakes afterwards because I don't want to take too much time going over mistake. So this is a snapshot of how you did.
Yeah.
I don't know why the college board doesn't report it this way, but I think it's nice to be a little more granular. So if you look at like your reading and writing score is a 6A, which is pretty good. It's solid, right? You see how the first section went pretty well, right?
Mhm.
So probably gets a hard question, but you even did better in the second section. So you got a pretty good score.
Yeah.
You see how like you did a little bit worse on the first module, the most recent test, and then also not as hot with the second one.
Yeah,
To see the score got adjusted. Now,
yeah.
if you take a look at math, you did about the same. Oh, what am I doing here? Geez, hold on. I'll update this. This is so annoying. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at math. So you got 19 out of 22. That's really good. You know, nearly 90% correct.
Yeah.
But you had some trouble. You got about half the question because they give you harder questions, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You did about the same in the most recent test, 18 out of 22, so 19 out of 22. But you did a little bit better on the second module compared to the previous test. So you got a slightly better score, right?
Yeah.
So what you'll want to do, a target is probably getting about 80 to 90% correct on the first modules for each.
Hmm.
So like, if you do the math really quickly, 27 times 0.9, let's say. So about 24. So if we can get 23, 24 questions right, and then maybe slightly worse or about the same on the second module, you're probably gonna hit 700.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Now here, for math, 22 times 0.9, it's about 20. If you get about, just a little bit better, right?
Hmm.
20 questions right, just about 2. But then, you're gonna want to do better on the second module compared to what you've done previously in the second module. So, but no, you don't have to like get 90%, maybe you get 80 or 70%. You'll probably get
Yeah.
yourself about 700 there as well. So that now you're at 1400 something, right? And that's, I think, what we want to aim for. So that's gonna be our goal, get you to
Yeah.
1400. Because that's a score that I think you feel good sharing with colleges. I mean, of course, we can do better, but I think that's going to be something that you'll feel comfortable putting on a college application. And just so you know, some colleges are looking for this test again, but those are like the very high-end schools, like Ivies. I think Northwestern. I know definitely UT Austin and Purdue. Maybe
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, maybe UVA, maybe Michigan. Um, but law schools are also test optional, like private schools in California or
Hmm.
Stanford. That's another required one. But UC is not looking at it. Or if you're going out of state, like an Oregon, Utah, Colorado,
Yeah.
Indiana, you never know. Optional still means it's good to do because like AP exams, not everyone has to do AP exams, but if you have a good AP score, you'd share it, wouldn't you? So
Yeah.
same thing with the SAT. Like if you have a good SAT score, you would share it. We want to make this worthwhile. So okay, cool. So now I got that updated. That's good. And let me just do one more thing because now I just realized that this spreadsheet's all messed up. This is my template. Okay, there we go. Yeah, actually, this is student got 1400. Okay, so this is good. You can see what it takes. So she was really rock solid the first modules, and she struggled with the second math module. Still got a solid score. I obviously got a superior reading and writing score, but that's kind of show you know, an idea of
Yeah.
like what you need to do. So okay, so now let's actually go through some questions. And from what I noticed, when we did go through your reading and writing, it looks like you're missing questions near the end. So I'm guessing it was, if I'm correct in saying this, some of the grammar stuff might be giving you a little trouble.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Around that.
we'll put a little more time on that, but let's just talk about maybe a little bit of the other stuff, and then we'll put more time on grammar. So for number one, I've been recording. Never mind, we're good. Okay. So former astronaut Ellen Ochoa says that although she doesn't have a definite idea of when it might happen, she blanked that humans will someday need to be able to live in other environments than those found on Earth. This conjecture informs her interest in future research missions to the moon. Okay. Um, she probably thinks that humans will someday or believes. So I wouldn't say doubts, right? Establishes,
Would be.
speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Demands, but she speculates. She thinks, yeah. That seems to make sense. And the conjecture, like what she thinks is going to happen.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, two. Go and read that one to yourself and tell me what you think. I'll do it myself and we'll share when we're ready.
Would it be C?
Hold on.
Or,
Yeah, the others are just weird. Yeah, just
Yeah.
persistent effort. Yeah. Because you continuously work. Yeah, I like that. Good. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to keep doing that, but it's all logical, right? So now let's
Yeah.
take a look at a couple of reading comprehension ones. So I'll do 7 for us. In 2007, computer scientist Luis von Ahn was working on converting printed books into digital format. He found that some words were distorted enough that digital scanners couldn't recognize them, but most humans could easily read them. Based on that find, von Ahn invented a simple security test to keep automated bots out of websites. The first version of the reCAPTCHA test has users that type one known word and one of the many words scanners can recognize. Correct answer proved the users were humans and added date to the book digiting project. So we've seen this all the time, right? When you're like, going on a website and you like pick all the things that are bicycles or bridges and
Yeah.
you're trying to log on to something, right? So which choice best states the main purpose of the text? Well, it's kind of giving us a history of how the reCAPTCHA happened and what it's about. So try to answer my own words before I look at the choices. Now I'll look at the choices. Maybe A, not so much B. It doesn't tell us how digital scanners work. Call attention to it. I don't know if I'd say that. How popular? I'd say it's more of a discussion of his invention, like how it works.
Yeah.
So I'd say that. So I'd probably go away on that one. Because it kind of answered, what I said in my own words before I looked at the choice. So it gives more confidence if I try to answer my own words beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do number 8 on our own, and then we'll talk.
Uh,
What do you
would it
think?
be?
I'm a little torn, but what do you think?
I'm thinking it'd be D.
I was leaning towards D. I'm also looking at C as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think it creates a detailed image. Really, the third sense does a detailed image. So I'd say A is out.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say an internal conflict necessarily. I mean, earlier on maybe, but I don't think that B does that so much, or second sense does that so much. But makes an assertion. So see, and she found something of herself in its calmness, and then the next sentence expands on it. But D illustrates an idea that's introduced in the previous. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's assertive. It said seemed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually might lean towards D now, but let's actually check the answers just to be sure. So your ST materials. And I think you have access to all these files. I'd have to double check. Yeah, Steve, good work. Yeah. And A was correct for 7. So good. Okay. Yeah, so that's what sometimes you have to be a little more critical about this. Like, is it really being assertive? Not really, right? And so that's why. So you still want to scrutinize each choice because sometimes you might be leaning it. Like, for example, I was leaning towards C, but then as I looked a little more close, I realized, yeah, it can't be C. It's got to be D.
Yeah.
Okay, let's mosey on over to some data questions. Okay. Now, as I was saying earlier, sometimes you could just look at the data. I'm saying
Yeah.
look at the choice and see if it fits the data. If only one fits and the other don't, then you know it has to be that one. But of course, if you know you eliminate some, that's fine too. Then you can only focus on what's remaining. Then you gotta read the passage to look for the context.
Yeah.
So what first of all, what's happening is they're talking about an individual. Okay, credited film output. Okay, so what these films were what they were credited for. James Young Deere, those years acted, Dark Cloud, blah blah, Edwin Carraway, Lillian Saint Cyr Redley. Okay. Now whether an actor, director, or writer. Okay. Okay. Dark Cloud acted in fewer films than Lillian Saint Cyr. That's true, he did. Fewer. Okay. So that's a true statement. Evan Curtis, 47, includes films only made after 19. We don't know that. So I'm probably gonna get rid of B because he was years active up to 1934 anyway.
Yeah.
Acting far more than 66 films. And could have directed more than 58. Well, actually, maybe because we gotta look at the context. Because they say that what they're commonly credited or known. So I'm gonna be a little careful there. James Gunn actually directed 33 films, acted in only 10. Um, okay. So it looks like there's a mistake here. And looks like these are actually Native American names, so maybe that's what's happening. That's
Mhm.
maybe the records are not accurate. So now, so I'd say B, I'd probably get rid of, but I think C and D are possibilities. Definitely A is a possibility. But
Yeah.
what are they talking about now? Some research studying indigenous actors and filmmakers in the United States have turned their attention to early days of cinema, blah, blah, blah. Were involved in one way or another with numerous films. In fact, so many films associated records for this era have been lost. Okay. That counts of those four figures outputs should be taken as bare minimums rather than totals. Okay, there you go. So now that now that I look at the choice, now I kind of know the answer is going to be C.
Yeah.
Not that it got switched. We don't want to be accurate, and B doesn't really make too much sense. So yeah, I'll go C in that case. So because we look at the context.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is true data. So okay, can you read that? I minimized it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So we'll do this on our own. So what I want you to do is look at the data here. It looks like they're talking about different types of plants. Um, bare ground, patch vegetation total. Okay, fine. Um, okay. Okay, so now we'll read. Okay, what do you think? Well, definitely B is out. It's not true.
Yeah.
A is true, but that's not really what they're asking. They mentioned about random distribution and how things could be are not as accurate.
Hmm.
So it's down to C or D. Um, but they'd say this that it should only be 15% if it was randomly distributed, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, these are much higher, and their hypothesis or the claim is that um, they have an advantage if they're going in close proximity to other vegetation. That's why we're seeing such high numbers.
Hmm.
Um, because again, so the calculate faster randomly distributed on this particular landscape, only about 50% would be with other plants. Yeah, yeah, I'd probably say D on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, why even pick on those two? But even then, the percentage was less than what would be expected. No, it's actually higher than what's expected. This should be 15%. Um, yeah, it's D.
Yeah.
So um we're going until 5:30. So we still have we could do some of the let's look at
Mhm.
17, and then maybe we'll have you try 18 and 19, then we'll do the grammar after that. So let's read
Yeah.
17 together. All right. So you want to logically complete the text, okay? Herbivorous sauropod dinosaurs could grow more than 100 feet long and weigh up to 80 tons. The summary said attributed the evolution of sauropods to such massive sizes to increase plant production resulting from high levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide during the Mesozoic era. However, there's no evidence of significant spikes in carbon dioxide levels coinciding with relevant periods in sauropod evolution, such as when the first large sauropods appeared, when sauropod lineages underwent further evolution toward gigantism, or when sauropods reached a maximum known size. It's less than that. Well, let me read it one more time. Okay. So I guess that's why you saw a lot of herbivores, because there's so many plants, okay, because we had so much carbon
Mhm.
dioxide. But they say there's no evidence of single spikes in carbon dioxide levels comes on the periods during that evolution. Okay. So they're trying to shoot down that theory. Okay.
Mhm.
More like a yeah. The evolution of larger bodies did not depend on increase.
Yeah.
They're trying to shoot that down, right? Because that's what they're trying to do. Because that's a claim. So the claim is
Hmm.
that increased carbon dioxide led to these bigger dinosaurs. But if they're saying, hey, we didn't see that, then maybe that's not really the case.
Yeah.
Um, well, C proves their point, proves the first sentence. So I don't want to say it's because I want to shoot that down
Yeah.
because they say, however. Well, he kind of agrees with the first statement as well. So I'd probably lean towards B on that one.
Yeah.
Yes, B. Okay. Okay, go ahead and take a look at 18. I'll read that one with you. I mean, I'll do it and we'll compare afterwards.
Hmm.
Okay,
Um,
what do you think?
I think this one's D.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna lean towards B too, yeah, because it says that could actually help them, right?
yeah,
They said the strongest, right? I agree.
yeah,
Good.
for sure. Great.
Okay, and now we're gonna move on to grammar. Okay, so I'm gonna do the first three here, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a whole bunch to do after that. Yeah, I have 10 total, so this is good. This will be plenty of a lot of good practice. Okay. So 19. Public awareness campaigns about the need to reduce single-use plastics can be successful, says researcher Kim Borg of Monash University in Australia. When these campaigns give consumers a choice, for example, Japan achieved a 40% reduction in plastic bag use after cashiers were checked to ask customers whether, um, yeah, you're talking about customers, should be they.
Yeah,
So that's A, that's pretty obvious.
yeah,
Now, punctuation can be a little funky. In ancient Greece, an Epicurean was a follower of Epicurus, a philosopher's beliefs revolved around the pursuit of pleasure. Epicurus defined pleasure as the absence of pain in the body and of trouble in the blank, that all life's virtues derive from. Here's the interesting thing. Without really reading it, I know C and D knock each other out.
hmm
Why do I say that? Why can I get rid of C and D without really having read this?
Well, the periods in the quotation marks and I'm not sure.
Semicolons and periods are exactly the same thing.
Okay.
They serve the
Okay.
same purpose.
Yeah.
So if C works, so does D work. But you can't have two answers.
Yeah.
That's impossible, right? So I like A. I think A makes sense to me.
hmm
Because you're the absence of pain in the body and of trouble in the soul. Yeah, so it's Epicurus defined pleasure as, quote, the absence of pain in the body and of trouble in the soul, positing that all life's virtues derive from this absence.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll go A. Yeah. The colon, just so you know, is more used if you're listing things, but they don't do that too often because it's too easy. It
Yeah.
could also be used to elaborate on something you said earlier, where you need kind of a longer pause than a comma. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but you'll see when we get
Mhm.
when we get there. And I got some stuff on punctuation because that's just focus on just punctuation that can help.
Great.
British scientist James Watson and Francis Crick won the Nobel Prize in part for the 1953 paper announcing the double helix structure of DNA, but it is misleading to say that Watson and Crick discovered the double helix. Blank findings were based on famous X-ray images of DNA fibers. Lotus 51 developed an X-ray crystallographer Rosalind Franklin and a graduate student Raymond Gosling. Okay. I think it's pretty obvious. It's their findings, but not THEY, possibly RE,
Yeah.
because that's not they are, not it is.
Mhm.
So I'll go C on that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Not D. Makes no sense. Um, okay, we'll do this one at a time. So it's pretty clear 22 is about punctuation.
hmm
Just tell me what you think. We'll just read it and tell me what you think. Okay.
I feel like B would
C, it's C.
C. Oh.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Whenever you put a title for someone's name,
Hmm.
you never put a comma. So
Okay.
like if you were to
Yeah.
say, like President Joe Biden gave a speech last night, you wouldn't put
Hmm.
a comma between president and Joe Biden. Like you just say all the way through,
Yeah.
or President of the United States, Joe Biden, like blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we don't put a comma, and there's no need to put a comma between the person and the verb. Um, so too many commas can be very choppy. Commas can be very deliberate. Commas can also be used. Um, Give me a sec here. I want to try to find a good. Yeah, 25 is a really good example of well, actually, I want to look at a sentence that's completes.
Yeah.
Give me a sec here. Yeah, there is a good example of how commas can be used as well. In addition to like listing things or
Hmm.
separate, like if you have like although blah blah blah, then comma, like although it's raining outside, I'm gonna wear a t-shirt and shorts. You put a comma before you say I'm gonna wear a t-shirt and shorts because you're
Yeah.
contrasting. So usually we use commas for that reason. Here's another reason we use commas. At 2 weeks old, the time their critical socialization period begins, wolves can smell but cannot yet see or hear. So notice you see two commas here, right?
Yeah.
That middle phrase is not needed. Because if I wrote it right
Hmm.
now, at 2 weeks old, wolves can smell but cannot yet see or hear. Sounds complete. Sounds totally fine, right?
Yeah.
So that middle phrase is called a non-essential clause.
Hmm.
That is essential. Well, okay, well, no pun intended, but it's good to know that because it shows up often on the SAT. When that happens, you must have a comma before and after, or a
Yeah.
dash and a dash, or parentheses,
Hmm.
to indicate it's not essential. It's nice to have because you're having a description. It's kind of like if you have a car, you need an engine, you need wheels. Those are essential for a car, but do you need leather seats? No. Do you need air conditioning? No.
Yeah.
Of course, it's nice to have, um, especially when it's hot outside. Um, but yeah, so you gotta be mindful about that. That's another way commas are used, just so you know. But commas we don't want to overuse them. So yeah, so that's why it's C for 22.
Yeah.
We'll see more with commas in just a little bit. But let's take a look at 23 next.
Yeah.
What do you think about 23?
B.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. By the way, just so you know, in terms of pacing, if you ever get stuck in any question, you should always just skip and
Yeah.
move on, because you can always go back to the question later in the section or module. All right, now let's take a look at 24.
There's nothing wrong with no, I mean, verify with the first unit, we not go on a paper, but it is. Communication is gonna be something.
Okay, so what do you think about 24?
I'm thinking it's gonna be C.
It's actually A.
A.
Yeah, here's the reason why. If it goes C, it's gonna be a run on.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you pause. So research studying magnetic sensation have determined why some slow dwelling ground worms in the southern hemisphere move in the opposite direction of Earth's magnetic field when searching for food. Then you pause. In the northern hemisphere, the magnetic field points down into the ground, but in the southern hemisphere, it points up for the searching away from worms, food sources. So yeah, that's why I'd say. Because if you go with C, then it's just gonna sound very awkward because then it's
Yeah.
also much longer than it should be. So yeah. Science believe that, unlike most other species of barnacle, turtle barnacles can dissolve the cement-like secretions they use to attach blank to a sea turtle shell, enabling the barnacles to move short distances across the shell surface. Okay, so what do you think about that one? And you're talking about turtle barnacles. So that's plural, just so you know.
It'd be B.
Yeah, totally right.
Yeah.
If it was one barnacle, then you say D. Right.
Mhm.
Good. Good. Okay, what about 26?
Oh, A.
Right. And also
Yeah.
without reading it, like A is the only one that's singular, the other are plural.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I guess maybe have allowed, like, you know, when you get to harder ones, they sometimes might get a little more detail. Like there's something called past perfect or present perfect. I
Yeah.
won't get into it today, but sometimes you might just delineate between those two, but yeah,
Mhm.
but this is pretty obvious it's allowed. It's a singular subject.
Yeah.
Okay, back to punctuation again with a transition word. Let's take a look at 27. Do you want to make sure we know what we're contrasting for sure?
Yeah.
And we're contrasting the second sentence of the first sentence.
Mhm.
So what do you think?
B.
Not quite. I'm glad I didn't say C because
Yeah.
then the third sentence would be contrasting with the second, but the third sentence agrees with the second. You
Mhm.
do need some pause, so D is out. But you need more of a pause because after you say though, that's a complete sentence. As a pioneering computer program, Hopper would help usher in the digital age. So you definitely want to go with a colon to kind of um elaborate on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's why it's A.
Great.
Okay, let's look at 28.
Yeah.
So I
Ooh, it's an interesting one. So who recovered 2 years later?
Henry.
Right. So
Yeah.
you got, so that's called a modifier upon
Mhm.
recovering 2 years later. And you have to mention the person, so modifier is a description, usually use a comma to, separate from the rest of the sentence. But you gotta put that person right next to it, otherwise it's misplaced.
Mhm.
Or it's dangling, it's not connected. The reign of Henry is not who we're
Yeah.
talking about. Or it is not who we're talking about. Even BC mentions Henry, but as a possessive Henry's reign, no.
Yeah.
It's gotta be A. Henry resumed his reign, forcing. So even though they might all sound grammatically correct, you gotta think about the logic here.
Mhm.
And just to show you some good examples of modifiers, yeah, I got a really nice, I should update that, let's see here.
So I.
This is what I shared with you?
Yeah. I
No,
think.
hold on. It must be digital. Hold on. There we go.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let me put some more stuff in there because this will be good. I still have an answer key for us. Probably why I don't put it, but here we go. Yeah, so
Great.
like if you look at like this one here, an elementary school teacher from Arkansas increased funding support for public libraries, what Bessie Bohm advocated for. Bessie Bohm Moore is our elementary school teacher from Arkansas.
Mhm.
You gotta say that right after the comma.
Yeah.
So at elementary school, an elementary school teacher from Arkansas, Bessie Bohm Moore advocated for blah blah blah. So you gotta make sure that's connected, right?
Yeah.
Or here's the another one. Stretching from one end of the city to the other, the efficiency of the new tram system often surprised both tourists and city residents. What stretch? Not the efficiency, but the tram system.
Mhm.
Stretching from one end of the city to the other, the new tram system often surprises both blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
um or here, born in a small town in Missouri, the majority of singer actress Josephine Baker's career spent performing throughout Europe. No.
Yeah.
Josephine Baker was the one who was born, right? So that's why it's
Mhm.
even if they say singer and actress, it's fine, but that's the title. But so you gotta have Josephine Baker as close as possible to that statement.
Yeah.
So anyway, otherwise it's dangling or misplaced. Yeah, here's some other ones with misplaced. Like Paul Conrad was a cartoonist known for his political satires that spent nearly 3 decades on staff at the Los Angeles Times. The political satires, like that's like a political, like kind of a comedy that you're writing or something like that.
Mhm.
That spent 3 decades? No, the person spent 3 decades. So you got to
Yeah.
rearrange it. Paul Conrad, okay, a cartoonist, blah blah blah, spent nearly 2 decades. That works. Yeah, so all the other ones could work too. Because then everything's kind of connected as they should be.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. All right, so that covers a lot of the grammar. So now let's kind of close the loop here. Let's do some transitions
Mhm.
and then do the rhetorical synthesis stuff.
Yeah.
And then we can look at some of your mistakes from your practice test to see if that helps you understand what's going on, why you're missing some of these and if you can correct them.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do this one together. Although novels and poems are considered distant literary forms, many authors have created hybrid works that incorporate elements of both. Okay. Bernardine Evaristo's The Emperor's Babe blank is a verse novel, a book-length narrative complete with characters and a plot, but conveying short crystal lines of poetry rather than prose. Yeah, they say that they use both, right? It's a hybrid,
Yeah.
and they give an example. So I say, this one, for example, is I would say by contrast,
Yeah.
consequently means what follows. Second doesn't make too much sense. So I'll go D.
Mhm.
D makes sense to me. So
Yeah.
um, all right, let's try these next two here. What do you think?
C.
Good. Let's do
Yeah.
31 next. It's an interesting one. I have an answer in my head, but I'm not 100% confident, but I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with D on it.
Yeah, because I don't think for this reason it doesn't make it's not
Yeah,
similar to
no.
something else. It's not like you're comparing another like if you say
Yeah.
like maybe similarly chemists do the same thing, sure.
Mhm.
Furthermore, if you give like more like another reason for something, but that's not what
Yeah.
we're doing either. Yeah, I like 31 doing the context. Yeah, Steve,
Mhm.
you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about how these work.
Yeah.
So I'll first read the question. The student wants to present the study and its findings. Which choice most effectively uses relevant information from notes accomplished? So wants to present the study and its findings. So the findings, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, pterosaurs with flying reptiles existed a million years ago, and 2020 study, blah, blah, blah. As fragments, look in Sahara Desert. She was initially unsure of the bones belong to juvenile adult pterosaurs. She used advanced microscope to determine that the bones had 3 growth lines. To include that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I think the 4th and 5th bullet points we probably would need.
Mhm.
And probably maybe the 2nd bullet point.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk about the findings though. So I want to go A.
Mhm.
Not B. Maybe C, but let's look at D. Yeah, it talks about the findings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go D on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then here, let's go do this on our own.
Mhm.
Yeah, we think about this one.
I think it's C.
Yeah, I'll lean towards C
Yeah.
because you want to be specific of both their contributions.
Mhm.
Yep, C. Yeah, because A only talks about one of the contributions. B talks about Hedgeman.
Yeah.
Because A just Bates, B is Hedge, because you want to compare the contributions. C talks about both. B is too vague.
Mhm.
Doesn't really talk about who specifically spoke in the march. So
Yeah.
good. Okay, so now let's do this. You can share your screen again, please.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll log you off sometimes.
Score details on the
Okay, yeah, go ahead and click on the most recent one, the August, yeah. Just click on the first one, number 2. All right. Yeah, it is by no means blank to recognize the influence of Dutch painter Romanes Bosch on Ali van Zijl's paintings. Indeed, Van Zijl himself cites Bosch in spirit. However, some scholars have suggested that ancient may have had a far greater impact. Yeah, it's kind of a double negative in a way, because they're saying it is important to recognize.
Yeah.
So it's by no means unimportant. So that's a double negative. So sometimes that might help because logically it kind of twists us a little bit when they do that double negative. But if I were just to reword, I'd say it is important to recognize. However, blah, blah, blah. So it's unimportant because you have like no, by no means. The no means is kind of a key phrase there. So, yeah, if you're going to say substantial, satisfying appropriate probably could have worked too. But yeah, it's got to be C. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, let's look at 8 and 9. Okay. The poem is addressed to close friend as if you were physically present. Weary toil, I hurried to my bed, the dear repose for limbs that travel tired. But then begins a journey in my head, to work my mind when body's work expired. But then my thoughts from where I abide, as else privileged to thee, and keep my driven eyelids open wide. Okay,
yeah, that was.
Yeah, because he's not falling asleep, right?
Yeah,
he says,
no. And it says,
because he's in bed, but he's to work my mind when body's working. His body's expired, but his mind is still thinking.
yeah.
And to keep his driven eyelids open wide. Okay, so yeah, yep. Okay, black beans are nutritionally dense food, but they're difficult to digest apart because of their high levels of. Oh, hold on, I need to plug my laptop in a sec here.
Yeah.
Right. Much better. Okay. Well, let me just one more time.
Yeah.
Okay, so go down, please. Yeah, go up again. Yeah, it's about fermentation. Yeah, because you want to go against the thing that made it hard to digest.
Yeah.
So that's why it's B. Yeah. All right, 19. Okay, yeah, so 4 in a row. This is grammar, right?
Yeah.
So look at this one. Her 2014 novel, Boy Snowbird, for instance, is a complex retelling of the story of Snow White, while a 2019 novel, Gingerbread, offers a delicious. Yeah, there's no need for a pause at all. Just say all the way through. While her blah 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 offers, because you have the subject and the verb, gingerbread, and offers. Yeah, there's no need for any pauses at all. It's too disruptive.
Yeah.
So I go C. And by the way, A and D were kind of the same thing. The pull and dash kind of serve the same purpose. Like you're elaborating on something, which we're not really doing.
Yeah.
Here, in close collaboration with musicians, Stradivari introduced changes to the shape of a Tristan violin, flattening some of the instrument's curves. So you're talking about one violin, it's got to be D.
Yeah.
Right? Not violins, violin. So D, right? Yeah. It's kind of like, for example, you wouldn't say Jesuit high school and their students. You say Jesuit high school and its students because one school. If you said the private schools in Sacramento and their students, then fine. You say that. Yeah, okay, same thing's happening here. Hold on a sec. Yeah. During the English neoclassical period, 1660 to 1789, many writers imitated the epic poetry and satires of ancient Greece and Rome. They're not the first in England to adopt the literary modes of classical antiquity, however. Okay, so you're contrasting with the first sentence. So I do not want D, because then you're starting a new sentence. And then you're using the third sentence contrast with the second. I don't want D.
Yeah.
Now it's good that you want B, but the problem is that it's a run-on afterwards, because now you have a new sentence. Some of the most prominent figures of the earlier Renaissance period were also influenced by ancient Greek and Roman literature. So I'll go C on that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're contrasting here because they said that one poll showed that John Kennedy didn't do well. They listened to it on the radio. But those who watched on TV thought he did really well because he presented himself better on as a visual as opposed to hearing him talk. So it's not likewise, it's actually a contrast. So you're saying the opposite, so that's why it's D. Yeah. Let's look at 27. Right.
Yeah, I'm like, well, why?
On. Okay, so probably use the fourth and sixth bullet points. Now I want to say B. Probably A, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, go down. Yeah.
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 Yep.
All right. So now let's look at this next set here. Yeah, 6 and 7. Um, yeah, you want to say it's weak. That's what you want to say. Delta's claim is weak if it fails to count. So it's not a strong argument. It's not a strong relationship or strong claim. Sorry. So
Yeah.
tenuous means weak. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to say
Yeah.
peripheral because I remember this one. because periphery means outside or
Yeah,
so far away, could only reach after long, because periphery is like what's on the outside. That's what you're trying to say there. Um,
yeah.
just like a 9. Oh, wait, sorry, did we just do 9?
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
What? Timberman, he is well. Or a rat man.
So it says here, how's Lord Chance respond? He said with such unanimity, so it seems
Yeah.
united, right?
Yeah, I messed that up.
But they don't really seem united. Yeah,
Yeah.
because some of they're talking about different things. So
Mhm.
yeah. Miss this one also. Yeah, go down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go up again. All right. Just understand it. Hold on. I just want to see understand
Oh,
the data
yeah,
first.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe this here.
I don't think of myself as their owner, I think of myself as their. Slash.
Can we go up again? Yeah, because I think you see a huge, a lot of like variation here.
Mhm. Yeah.
Go down one more time. Okay. Go down one more time. All right, go up. Yeah, if you look at B,
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like there's yeah, because if you go down one more time to the passage, they say
Mhm.
that the ratio of manganese to calcium inverse correlates to ocean oxidation. So ocean oxidation definitely played a role for the Alboran Sea because we're seeing such spikes
Yeah.
or up and downs with the manganese ratio. Go up one more time. Yeah, manganese to calcium ratio.
Yeah.
But we don't see much. So it must be another reason because that ratio stays the same for the
Mhm.
Mauritian coast. So yeah, a little
Yeah.
trippy there. Yeah, you can see they're getting a little harder, right?
Yeah.
B12's next. Yeah, our collectives, like I said, Vietnamite.
No, like, I. Oh. No, you missed the entire job. Hi, hope we get. No worries. Yeah, all right, guys.
Long reach more time. Yeah, some are just used to having sole control, so they don't like to work with other people, I guess.
Mhm.
Maybe A, go down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because like they initially were fine, but then they realized, we're
Mhm.
not really feeling that. So okay, cool. 16.
I'll think about it. So 595.
Yeah, to say that Versace and her colleagues use an image of three black dots arranged in the shape of eyes and a nose from out the test, but this also occurs in test pseudotortoises, which alone do not engage parental care. They found that tortoise hatching shows significant preference for the image.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say among social animals, they appear to show innate attraction, but because they're a live alone, do not engage.
Yeah.
Do not assume that, right? Okay,
Mhm.
okay. And let's look at, yeah, all right. So again, we said no comment for the title. So it's good if you didn't pick A or D. But again, you have the subject with the verb.
Mhm.
Plant cell biologist Yuri Lee showed that blah 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 blah. So you want to say all the way through. That's why it's C.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, the shape of each statue's ears, like the shape of each person's ears. So you say about the shape, that's your subject.
Mhm.
So usually when you have like a preposition like of, so it's gonna come right before, and the shape is unique. So it's B.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so you gotta make sure we're careful to use the word though, where the contrast is happening. In 1943, in the midst of World War II, mathematics professor. Oh, did we just see this one? Oh, I think we saw one in the paper copy. Hopper's
Yeah.
system crew involved more than just equations, though. Yeah, then you explained. Yeah, I think we just saw that one. So let's say go down. Yeah, we'll do a couple more and then we'll wrap it up for tonight.
All right.
Yeah, so wants to emphasize the duration and purpose of Cohen's and Rogers' work. Okay, the duration. They've both been doing since 2003.
Mhm.
and the purpose. Yeah, probably say C.
C.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To preserve that culture. So, and then last one, emphasize the aim of the research study. Okay. Yeah, the aim is to see what influences
Yeah.
the clutch size. So really the second bullet point you want.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to know which, yeah, right. Okay. Okay, good. So good. Well, this is very thorough. We went
Yeah.
to all types. We also talked about the structure of the test. We got some data on you.
Mhm.
We looked at your mistakes. So I'd say I'm gonna give you some practice to do.
Yeah.
I'll send it by later tonight. And if you can work out. So I think I'll go kind of light. I'll give it maybe a little bit of math to do, not too much.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you the answer key for all the work. So if all looks good with the reading and writing stuff, we could put more emphasis on math and talk about that on Thursday. And Thursday, I see we're set to meet again at 4 o'clock. That still works for you?
Yeah.
22nd.
Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
Cool. Yeah, and then also I'll give you a plan to follow for the October test.
Mhm.
Things you can do, and then we can still stay in touch. I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
problem. So I could always give some guidance by email or whatever. So,
Great.
but cool. I think we're all set then.
Yeah.
All right,
Alrighty.
perfect. All right,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
and I'll send you an email by later tonight.
Yeah. Great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Bye.